Welcome in, everybody. It's Wednesday night. Do not adjust your computers, TVs, anything of that sort here. It's a special Wednesday night edition of the show, I guess, if you want to call it special, because in a couple of weeks we will be adding Wednesday nights to the show, as it is a fun little Wednesday night here. Going to have some fun with you guys here. Uh, Got a lot of stuff to talk about here, as you can see there on the bottom of the screen, and I don't think I covered all the information on there, but if I did, so be it. So, got a lot to talk about. Going to avoid the Eagles talk tonight because I wanted to rewatch the Eagles game. Didn't get a chance to do it. Um, Only because there were so many different mistakes in that game that um, Nick Sirianni made. So, at least that's my opinion. But anyways, good to be with you on this Wednesday, the September the 18th. And do want to thank my buddy Mike for taking me out for my birthday today. Didn't hit the casino, but that's okay. It wasn't that bad of a loss, at least not yet. As I did play a parlay tonight, and I did kill AJ's parlay because he had NYCFC. I had the Union in my parlay at plus three something. Well, the Union won outright tonight. They won 5-1 up at Yankee Stadium tonight. So, haha, New York. And, AJ's usually on the ball, but, not that good with soccer yet. But give him time. He'll get all the nuances down and everything like that. So, but I'm watching the Phillies game here right now. I got a two-team Philly daily double parlay, which will pay plus 760 something. And if it does, that's going to mean that I might be making a trip up the parks tomorrow. And if not, it will be on Saturday because Saturday is the Pennsylvania Derby. And usually we don't go to commercials this early, but um, where is my. Let me just do one thing here. No, that's not what I want to do. No. So, um, I didn't realize how windy it was at Parks today, even though I knew it was windy. But here is a little promo that I made for Saturday. So I'm going to shut up for a second. I'm going to play this video for you, and away we go. Guys, Joe Quills from Bleacher Brothers here live at Parks on this Wednesday afternoon. Just want to remind you that we will be covering the Pennsylvania Derby and Cotillion on Also Eligible, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on the Bleacher Brothers channels. And who knows, maybe you get to see me up there sometime Saturday afternoon. BleacherBrothers.com, we got you all covered for the Pennsylvania Derby and Cotillion. So I will be at Park Saturday afternoon. That is first race of the day is at 11:30. There's no way in hell I can make it up there by 11:30 with my show at 10 o'clock. Could I make the show earlier? Sure, but you know what? No, I can get there about 12:30, 12:30, 1 o'clock. I think I can still get my hat. So they are giving hats. Brad Lidge is going to be there. The worst manager in Phillies history, Charlie Manuel, will also be there. So um, you will have a lot of stars there, star athletes and stuff like that as well. So they're going to pull out all the stops there, and going to be a busy week here on my the rest of my vacation. As I'm after we're done this show tonight, I am going to write up at least my two articles for Thursday, my article for Thursday and Friday, so that I can start typing away for Saturday. 14 races on the card, 11 stakes races. We even have a race for one of my exes called the Whistle Pig, but a bump. But seriously, but the big races are um, the Greenwood Cup, which is a mile and a half distant, a marathon race at Parks. It's a grade three. Next, uh, the marathon horse, Super Horse, won last year's race at Parks by 25 lengths. He will try to win again. You got the Turf Monster, which will be part of the local broadcast here in Philadelphia, and you can watch all these races on FanDuel TV as well. And I'm sure that FanDuel will have a promotion for a no sweat bet, $5 up to $5 to win. I guess that's going to be the Saturday wager, but we'll wait till Saturday morning to officially announce that and point you that way since we do have a partnership with FanDuel. You also got the cotillion, or before we get to the cotillion, we have the Gallant Bob, which is a 6 furlong sprint grade two, I believe. That is a race for 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs. It's a for some it may be a prep to the Breeders' Cup, and then we have the cotillion and Torpedo Anna, the horse that barely lost in the Travers. The filly almost beat the boys in the Travers, lost by about that much. She runs in her own gender, going to be a very heavy favorite. And I will give you a tip for Saturday with that race. And then the big one, the Kentucky Derby, the Pennsylvania Derby. I'm thinking of the horse that was in there. We don't have Mystic Dan, but we do have Seize the Gray, who won the Preakness back in May. You got Dragoon Guard, who won numerous races over the summer, and you got a field of 11 for that race. And gotta love you gotta love the sense of humor that the Daily Racing Form writer had with the announcing of the field for the Pennsylvania Derby. He said that it was a brave group of 7 challenging Torpedo Anna, but a little fun stuff there as well. So I'm ready for it. Going to start getting ready for that race, for all those races, and you can go to my other show, also eligible. We'll get to it on Saturday morning. We'll see how many races we'll talk about. We'll definitely talk cotillion. We'll definitely talk Pennsylvania Derby. We'll talk Gallant Bob. We'll talk uh, Turf Monster, and we'll talk about the issues that the turf had. We covered that on Monday, I believe. But we'll get into a lot of stuff with that, and it is my home track. It is the track that I go to. I was actually there today, as you can tell by that little video that I made. I didn't realize how much the wind picked up on the microphone on my phone, and yes, that was done on my phone. So, but that was a um, impromptu thing. And I was telling my buddy Mike earlier today, I was like, dude, I mean, you know me, but since I'm really getting into stuff like this and doing a lot of the Bleacher Brothers stuff, and told him a couple of things that I won't be mentioning as of yet. Um, you know, I told him, I said, my brain just does not shut off. I mean, when I get done work at 7:30, my brain switches from real job to this. And, and you know, you could say, Joe, do you ever shut up? Do you ever do you ever stop working? Do you ever do this? You ever do that? No, it's just the way that I am. I'm always working, always thinking stuff like that because, and I told him, I told Mike today, and um, I don't have to, you know, just the way that I am. AJ has to tell me, dude, I do not want to see an article from you for the next few days. And like when we went to Vegas last year, I said, well, I already written up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay, I'll post it, but don't write anything while we're out here. So that's why we had a hiatus in February. Um, but he does sometimes have to reel me in and say, dude, just stop. So, but if there's not an article, it's either I forgot to post on my social media, so just check bleacherbrothers.com. It may be a night race, and since I take care of my own stuff. It may be that it's a night race. I took advantage of a couple extra hours of sleep, or it may be that I'm missing work. And when I miss work, I disconnect everything in terms of the Joe Quills show, Bleacher Brothers, all that, because I have to protect my nest egg. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to lose 25 years of work because, somebody said, well, Joe couldn't do this. Joe could have worked today, but he was able to post that article. Just not going to deal with anybody's BS with that. So, at Redacted Company, um, you know, and I just protect myself as well by not even mentioning the company name. And if I do, it's an accidental thing. But it is what it is. But Phillies are 1-1 in the eighth inning here. I am trying to get the Phillies one more win, which will mean that the Phillies will clinch a playoff berth, apparently. Now, according to my calculations, they needed a win tonight and a Braves loss because the Braves are the top team in the National League who are currently out of the playoffs. But as of right now, and I'm checking the scoreboard here, the Braves did win 7-1. So to me, my calculations, but I'm not MLB official, in the way that I calculate it, the Phillies would not be in tonight, but apparently they will be in. So, um, but with they're up 10 games on Atlanta, 9.5 at the moment. Phillies are 1-1 in the eighth in Milwaukee, or Mildew Town, as I'd like to call it. Because you got to talk trash to Milwaukee. But Milwaukee did clinch the NL Central this year. Um, they became the first major league team to clinch. They clinched with the Athletics 5-3 win over the Chicago Cubs. Uh, Milwaukee wraps up their sixth playoff berth in 7 years. Um, now, what the cool thing is, Pat Murphy, the manager who took over this year when um, um, Craig Counsell went south to Chicago after his contract wasn't renewed. Um, he left for the rival Cubs, and they did a lot with smoke and mirrors, but they got the job done. I mean, some of the injuries that they had, Corbin Burns. Well, first of all, Corbin Burns was traded to Baltimore. Um, Brandon Woodruff didn't pitch this year as he recovered from shoulder surgery. Devin Williams sat out the first half of the year with stress fractures in his back. That sounds painful. Christian Yelich and pitchers Wade Miley and Robert Gasser suffered season-ending injuries, but they just kept coming and coming and coming, and nobody was catching the Brewers this year, and they have won the NL Central. They are in the playoffs for the sixth time in 7 years. It is the first time they've won back-to-back divisions since 1981 and 1982. But um, but they've had some great contributions this year. Christian Yelich, who was out for the year, he was hitting 315, leading the league when he was out when he was injured and out for the year. William Contreras developed into one of the game's best hitting catchers. Willie Adames is the first Brewers shortstop to have a 30 homer, 100 RBI season. Even Robin Yount did not do that. So, and Bank Boy, welcome in and thank you very much. Yes, it is my birthday, and I didn't do a stream last night. I thought about, but I also had I had something I had to attend to last night, so it's like, I can always do tonight because I was going to do 4 nights a week, and we are going to go 4 nights a week in October. I was saying this week would be the 4 nights a week, but then next week I will not be here next Wednesday night. I will be at Citizens Bank Park for fan appreciation night between the Phillies and the Cubs. Cubs will have nothing to play for by then. Hopefully, the Phillies will be playing for the top seed in Major League Baseball. But um, but yeah, so congrats to the Brewers. They're the first to get in because of the weak ass Central Division. Uh, but they did a lot to get there, and got to give them credit. I mean, some of the things that they did here, they're mind-boggling. They had 17 different pitcher start games this year. Only the Marlins and Angels did more. 12 different Brewers have collected a save, just two shy of the record of 14 set by the 2021 Tampa Bay Rays. And they entered Wednesday with a 3.65 ERA. That's fourth in the major. So, um, you know, whether you consider it smoke and mirrors or you consider it a young team that is on their way up, well, even though they've been up, but you get what I mean there because I figured, okay, well, new manager and everything else, they should come back to earth and trading one of their starters. But no, they ended up winning the division this year. They're the first in. And I'm just waiting to see if the Phillies can win this game. Because if it does, I hit my Philly daily double parlay. So Brewers are in. Congrats to them. And we'll see if these two teams end up meeting in October. Phillies met the Brewers back in 2008 in the divisional round. And we all know what happened in October of 2008.
World champion. World fucking champions.
Yep, that's right. Chase Utley, after the Phillies won the World Series on Halloween, the greatest Halloween ever in the city of Philadelphia. Chase Utley uttered those famous words until Jason Kelsey said, "Hold my beer, California boy."
World champion. World fucking champions.
Thank you, SJ. SJ's here as well. I started a little late tonight because we had the Bleacher Brothers show at 7 o'clock tonight. I watched the first half of the Chef Tom's golf show. Also, well, I'll wait till the end of the show to announce a couple of different things as well. Um, but the big news came this morning. Um, SJ is leaving the bowling alley in a minute. Somebody has to put her in a bowling ball bag because she is that small. She can fit in there, and they'll take her home. And Mike's here as well. Mike put up with my shit at Parks today. And Mike, just to let you know, the parlay's alive. The Union kicked the shit out of NYCFC tonight. So I'm just waiting on the Phillies game. And me and Mike joke around and we call it the national holiday. Yep. Uh, Hold on. Let me figure this out again. There you go, Mike. 5-1 Philadelphia Union. They kicked the living shit out of NYCFC up at Spank Me Stadium in the Bronx. And, you know, no wonder why they're ending up in Flushing in a year or two because the Union showed what they're going to do to them once they go to Queens next to shitty field where the Phillies will clinch the NL East this weekend. But I digress. So, um, so yeah, I'm just talking a little trash, pretending I'm like, because we were talking about Screaming A. Smith today and how Mike is actually a fan, actually uh, admits that I am um, actually agree with Screaming A at one point about how we enjoy the Dallas Cowboys getting their ass kicked. But anyways, uh, yes, it is, old man burger. It's mine. Uh, yeah, I'm just having a fun little stream here, even though I'm doing the stuff that I would have done last night, but Um, I ended up getting into a guillotine fantasy football league last night, and basically, what happens is the team with the lowest points at the end of the week gets kicked out of the league. So hopefully it's not me. Hopefully I win, because like, is it DJ Khaled that said all I do is win, 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 no matter what? Well, I don't always win, but hopefully the Phillies will win tonight so I can win, 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 and make a run up the parks tomorrow, so that when I get up there Saturday, I'll have almost $200 in my pocket for the Philly Daily Double that I play from time to time. And it was a last minute thing. Um, I was going to play the Phillies on the run line tonight. Glad I didn't. But um, but I ended up playing Philly money line, and then I was like, oh shit, the Union's playing tonight. And whenever the Union play, or when the Eagles play and the Union play, or whenever we have a confluence of a couple of different Philly teams playing at the same time, I tend to turn it into a Philly double or trifecta, and hopefully the Philly double does hit tonight. So if it does pay plus 762. So hopefully we get to bring that home tonight. So so everybody that's here tonight, feel free to chime in with some of these things here. Um, you know, if you want to bring something else up, feel free to do so. I'll give my opinion, or at least try. I am sober, so you don't have to worry about me acting like a fool, because I do that while sober. Thank you very much. Uh, but it is what it is. So, anyways, told you about the Brewers clinching division tonight. Congrats to them once again. But this morning, as the Phillies get out of the eighth inning there, 1-1 going into the ninth. Come on, Phillies, I need some money. Um, well, you heard the mother of all bombs in the war world. Well, and you heard of Woj bombs. This morning, we had the mother of all Woj bombs today. This morning, um, Adrian Wojnarowski is no longer employed with ESPN by his own choice. It wasn't like he got fired, because you can't fire him for being Polish, because that would be discriminatory. Kind of like how the Phillies are discriminatory that they don't have a Polak awareness night at the ballpark, but I digress. But um, Woj has agreed to become the general manager of the men's basketball program at St. Bonaventure. I know what you're saying. What? Well, that is because Woj is a St. Bonaventure alumnus and has a strong relationship with the program, including as a fundraiser for the school's collective in recent years. So, he's giving back to the school. He's not St. Bonaventure is not a Jesuit school, so he's probably still a man for others. We joked around in high school about the Jesuit way being an MFO, but a lot of us are just MFs like me. Uh, but no, St. Bonaventure's a Franciscan school, and I'll get to that in a second here. So he graduated in 1991, um, and Bona is a local school near Old Man Burger. Yep, Old Man. The school is in Olean, New York. They may say some other town, but from everything that I've seen in the past, it's been Olean. But it may be a case where it's like right on the line, because let me tell you, from my job, and Mike knows exactly what I mean by this, even though it wasn't as bad with people as it is now. Well, it could be Philadelphia, it could be Cheltenham, it could be Wingcote, it could be this, it could be that. It's on the border. You know, you could be 6 towns away from Philadelphia, and it's on the border between Philadelphia and that town, even though you got to go through 6 borders. It's kind of like my personal favorite that annoys the living hell out of me. Oh, it's off of this street. Well, if it's off of that street, well, guess what, dumbass? It's probably 3 streets over from the street you're telling me. And Mike says he knows it all too well because he did work with me at Redacted Company. And, I choose to keep it as, I try to keep it as covered up as I can because, I'm protecting the nest egg. So, but at least I call it a nest egg. I don't know if it really is a nest egg, but you get the idea. But um, Woj said in a statement, it is a thrill of a lifetime to be able to return to a university and community that I love in a role of service to our student athletes, coaches, and institution. Uh, I am hopeful that I can bring value in a lot of areas to our basketball program and open doors for our young men's futures in ways both professionally and personally. But he has worked since ESPN since 2017. He previously worked at Yahoo Sports and the Record of Bergen County, among other stops. I think he was on FS1 as well, but don't quote me on that part. He said, "I'm retiring from a dream job at ESPN, and I'm so incredibly grateful for my time and experiences with the worldwide leader." Um, Now, he also says the GM role has become more common in college basketball in recent years as the transfer portal has made wholesale roster turnover an inherent part of the sport. The role includes name, image, and likeness allocation, recruiting, and supporting successful Bonnie's coach Mark Schmidt. Now, that's that's one thing that you didn't think about with NIL is you got to manage everything and do you know dr- draw players in because with St. Bonaventure in a mid-major to smaller conference, and I think it's more of a mid-major, the Atlantic 10, but the last few years, most of those years they've only gotten one bid. I think they got two this year, but off the top of my head, I think it was two or three that they got this year, which has been an anomaly over the last few years. But and if somebody wants to fact check that on Wikipedia, 2024 NCAA Men's Division One men's basketball tournament, feel free to do so. You might have to do some scrolling once you pull it up, but um, um, so um, now Athletic Director Bob Beretta said, "Woj is a perfect person to fill the new role, combining his intimate knowledge of St. Bonaventure and our Franciscan values, because it is a Catholic university, a group of priests, the Franciscans, with a deep network of relationships he had built across the worlds of professional and intercollegiate basketball. The fact that the preeminent journalist in the field is willing to walk away from a lucrative media career to serve his alma mater, I like how they use the word serve, in a support role is a testament to the love and passion for Bonas." Uh, 2011, 2017, 2020. Yeah, I mean, even I'm saying that. Because is that St. Bonaventure? Because um, let me just pull this up here, just so I can close this thought because it's bugging me now. Um, yeah, Atlantic 10 had two teams in the tournament. They had Dayton, who was a 7 seed, and Duquesne, or people that are not couth enough will say Duquesne, they got the automatic bid. So there was two teams in the NCAA tournament this year, but I believe, and I'm not going to research this, so if you want to do it on your time, feel free to do so. If I had a producer or somebody else, maybe they would look it up, but I just don't care. But I believe that for the most part, the Atlantic 10 has become a one bid league for the most part. Um, but they could have had a national champion in 2021 if it wasn't for COVID. Um, because the Dayton was one of the top three programs in the country most of the year, and they were probably going to be a number one seed, and they were probably could have won it all that year, but due to circumstances beyond our control, they did not get in. So, but um, but yeah, so you know, congrats to congrats to Woj, and he will I'm sure will do a great job there, use his connections, and who knows, maybe he will help St. Bonaventure even more. Because even the smaller schools are realizing, hey, we need to do what we can to either A, retain our players so they don't go to Duke, to North Carolina, whatever, if they have a big year, or make sure they don't, even go home, let's say. You get a kid from wherever. But, you know, but good for him. You know, I mean, he left a dream job. He left $20 million on the table from what I saw, I believe. But, it's um and he was a class person. Um so good for him, and um hopefully he has a successful tenure at St. Bonaventure. And I guess he could always fall back to the ESPN job, like for example how Jeff Saturday jumped right back into the analyst chair at ESPN once his brief unsuccessful tenure as an interim coach with the Indianapolis Colts was. So so we are talking here on my birthday. I do appreciate everybody with the well wishes throughout the day. I think SJ's done it about 6 different times. I think the only place she has not wished me a happy birthday is Pornhub, but I'm not going to check there because I know she doesn't go there. I know she's a sweet woman, and I know she does not go there. But anyways, and I'm trying to segue to an ad too. Oh boy, yeah, this is going to get me fired. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go to my ad here, and want your opinion of how I did on this ad here. Hold on. I gotta pull it back up here. Hold on. All right, since there's no way in hell, since there was no way in hell that I could do the ad that I had planned on doing um, without um, without getting us into trouble at Bleacher Brothers, I do want to touch base on a big event that's occurring not far from me in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, Parks Racing, and you know, feel free to judge me on uh, this ad here, and just take the fact that it's windy. It was windy as hell up there today. Um, you know, you know, don't put that into. Uh, don't take the wind into the factor, but judge otherwise in regards to this. So here you go. Once I share it. Hey guys, Joe Quills from Bleacher Brothers here, live at Parks on this Wednesday afternoon. Just want to remind you that we will be covering the Pennsylvania Derby and Cotillion on Also Eligible, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on the Bleacher Brothers channels. And who knows, maybe you get to see me up there sometime Saturday afternoon. BleacherBrothers.com, we got you all covered for the Pennsylvania Derby and Cotillion. Now, I must say one thing here, and Mike was impressed as well because he was sitting on the bench there. Um, and I told him about how my mind just runs and runs and runs, and my parlay is about to die here. Anyways, Brewers have been made on third with no out. Does not look good for me right now. So, anyways, and I told Mike today, my mind just races all the time. It's probably why I have a hard time going to sleep. Thank God for sertraline. That helps me wind down, even though um, it takes a while for that to kick in. That's why I take it in the morning, even though I probably should be taking it at night. Um, but anyways, that was all in one take. So pretty impressive that I did it all in one take because I tried doing an ad which never saw the light of day. I think it's still on my iPhone. Um, it really, it was just one take. It was short, sweet, to the point, and only 25 seconds. So kudos to me for doing that. So that is this Saturday at Parks. Check out the Bleacher Brothers channels. That will be at 10 a.m. If I can do it, maybe I can stream to both my Twitch and the Bleacher Brothers Twitch if we can do it. But AJ, our leader, is going to be my co-host this Saturday. I already told him we're talking Parks, and we'll see if we can bring some winners home. We do have some very short favorites in some of the races today or on Saturday. I'll guide you through those two races and more. So go to bleacherbrothers.com because I may be handicapping all 14 races, which means probably about 4 or 5 articles. So, but yeah, that's a Saturday, and you can catch me here at 10 o'clock on the Bleacher Brothers network of channels, and you can probably catch me up there at Parks around 1 o'clock. So, uh, so yeah, so fun afternoon, a day I look forward to every year. And I look once they announce that when the Pennsylvania Derby is, it's like, all right, is it on my vacation week? Yes, it is. All right. So, but anyways, enough about me talking about that. Let's get back to it here, and let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa. And unfortunately, um, he has been placed on IR, which is what I would expect, right? Because if you think about it, the guy has 3 concussions that we know of in the NFL. He also had one in college. He had an injury to his hip and leg uh, in his senior year. He had a concussion in college. So he's had 4 that we know of. And, you really have to take the concussion thing seriously. With CTE, with the movie Concussion, with all that, and we know so much more about concussions than we did even 5 years ago. You know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. It used to just be, oh, you got your bell rung, go back in. But it just got, it just got, you know, we know more and more as it goes on, and you know, you have to you may even have to just protect him from uh, from himself. But he has to make the ultimate decision. And now, um, after his concussion, everything, and I'm not surprised that he's on the IR 4 games. And I think I said it last Thursday. I might have predicted that he would end up in IR, but I said that don't be surprised if they wait as long as they can to put him on IR because of the fact that they have a 10-day thing. Um, Um, and Old Man Burger has a good point here. The last hit, that last one was not a hard hit. I had a concussion a few years ago. It took me a long time to get over it. I hate to say it. He needs to retire. And I agree. Um, you know, but I'm just a guy who's talking sports here. I've had a concussion or two that I know of. It took me a few days to get over it, but I wasn't really doing anything sports wise. So, but um, it wasn't a hard hit. I agree with you, but he was trying to lower his shoulder, but his head got in the way. And yes, I did shiver there because I got my fan on, and the Brewers win, and there goes my parlay. So, Mike, fucking Brewers. Anyways, but anyways, you know, but every time you get a concussion, you're more susceptible to another one. And, and some of the things that he has done, you know, I mean, he tried to prevent as much as he can as well, which I'll get into, but, you know, I just think that he planned to use his shoulder, and this is how I take it. Um, um, and he hit DeMar Hamlin with his helmet. And I could see that the neck was bent as well a little bit. So that was probably what caused the concussion, not necessarily the hit itself, but the way that the neck bent when he hit him. So, but I'm not a doctor, and I'm sure if there was a doctor that was here with you guys right now, he could prove me wrong. And hey, I'm all up for that. As long as you're professional about it, not calling me all kinds of stupid names, I'm okay with it. But Mike, if you had the Phillies game on, if you can let me know why Estevez and what's his face were uh, Topper were talking to the umpires at the end of the game there. I had the volume down, so I don't hear what they're saying. So, but I'll probably be catching a replay 2 a.m. when I'm writing my Thursday and Friday articles. Um, but yeah, so but it was a weird hit, um, and he tried to lower his shoulder. His helmet made contact with Hamlin's body. The quarterback fell to the ground and went into what's called a fencing response, which is a term to describe a person's arms going into an unnatural position. And some will say that he was convulsing on the field. It looked like that to me because it was similar to the concussion that he had in Cincinnati. Um, Now, he was ultimately able to walk off the field into the locker room under his own power. Um, but from that point, and exactly the point that I made probably last week, you had 10 days to they had 10 days to make a decision for the Seattle game. Um, Now he's not guaranteed now because of the IR to return until week 8. He has to miss 4 games at least. The team is not rushing its recently crowned franchise quarterback to return from another traumatic head injury. Now he will also Tua will also seek opinions from multiple independent neurologists as well. So um, now Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said it was up to the quarterback to decide if he would continue playing or um, to retire. Um, and like Old Man Burger said, the bad thing was that he had the first down before the tackle. Agreed. And he got a little greedy there. He wanted a few more yards. He wanted a little extra contact, and um, but it's just it's just a matter of, you know, and we did bring this up on Monday night. And I think uh, we were talking about quarterbacks that don't know how to slide, and I think it was Michael Vick that doesn't know how to slide. But but the only reason why I was mentioning him was because he's a left-handed quarterback as well. But you know, some quarterbacks just don't know how to slide feet first, and you know, you can work with them as much as you want. You know, you can get that slip and slide and put it on the 40-yard line and extend it to the 20, let's say. But you know, it's just you have to learn, and uh, you know, it's you know, some people just aren't built that way. Where oh, I'll go feet first. Um, Josh Allen does not slide well. I agree. Um, uh, Wait, she's getting on the car? Wait. I don't have my wallet on here because I was going to have my dollars ready just in case. Nah, seriously. Uh, no, get on top of the car. You know, do like Teen Wolf. Woo! But, uh, you know, Tom Brady, I don't think he's coming back. You know, they can talk about that all they want. Um, I think it will complicate the ownership stuff even more because think about it. He's already allowed to do a conflict of interest job with Fox as a minority owner if he gets approved, because he hasn't been approved yet. But they have all kinds of stipulations with him right now, and it's like, is it really worth for Fox to pay him $36 million a year, whatever the crazy number is, to call games when it could be a conflict of interest? You know, what happens if the Raiders get really good and they end up on Fox's number one broadcast because, you know, they're playing the Eagles or they're playing the Niners or they're playing the Lions? Well, I'm not sure if you can actually use him on that broadcast anytime the Raiders are the top game on Fox. Now with the way that the NFL appoints games to Fox and CBS, and it's technically not all your road games if you're in the NFCs on Fox anymore. For example, Crossing Broad, which is a sports blog here in Philadelphia, based out of Philadelphia, um, they were bitching and moaning, and you know, I could have used this to my advantage. Maybe start a little war with them, but you know, I'm not starting a war because you know they're good people over there, and one of my high school graduate members of my high school graduating class was working there, and he's working at an offshoot site for them. But you know, they were complaining that a Dallas Eagles game is going to be the main game on CBS this year. I'm like, you know, the Eagles and the Cowboys played on CBS for years before Fox came in and took NFL football away. But I digress with that. So, but you know, this doesn't look good. What happened with him? Um, Now it's the first time that Miami has forced to play with doubted starting quarterback since 2022. Skylar Thompson, who's going to start this Sunday in Seattle, he's going to start. Um, Skylar Thompson also kept Miami in the game in the 2023 playoffs or 2022 playoffs, which was in 2023. Um, but you know, but he's had substantial injuries. He had a hip dislocation and fracture of his posterior wall of his hip uh, in college. He had a concussion and a broken nose also that senior year. Um, you know, I mean, he didn't miss a game last year, which helped him get his contract, 2 years, 212 million. Um, but after the 22 season, Tua thought about retiring, and this was on the Dan Levitard show. You know, Dan Levitard is based out of Miami, and he can get those Miami athletes to come onto his show, whether it's a taped interview or a live interview. Now, he admitted that he was briefly considering retirement. After conversations with his family, he clarified that it was primarily his mother that asked him to reconsider his career. And you're going to listen to your mother. You know, most of us do. I didn't all the time. My mom would joke, would tell me to stop, would stop, would tell me to stop making my jokes and stuff like that, and I would still be going. And Mike would be there laughing his ass off at the jokes, and my mom would have to tell him, Mike, don't encourage him. But but some of the things I did were funny as hell though. Um, but I mean, he wore a new helmet that was specifically designed to limit concussions. He was bulking up. He was training in a jujitsu break fall program to learn how to fall without hitting his head. Um, but the jujitsu thing, that was irrelevant in my opinion to the type of injury he had because the way that his neck bent a little bit. Um, uh, Old Man Burger, I probably shouldn't mention that, but I will. I stopped listening to my mom between 18 and 30. Me, it was between the ages of 6 and 45. Uh, no, I'm only kidding. But um, but Skylar Thompson's going to start. Tim Boyle is on the practice squad. They brought in Tyler Huntley to be the backup. So they got some problems there right now with the injuries. Um, and Mike says he had to encourage me. It was my job. Got that right. Uh, but one thing I'll say about Tua is, you have to realize that, you know, making the money, being a football player is great. Playing your dream job, the dream that you had since you were a kid, probably. You probably dreamed to be a baseball player. Um, so, um, but yeah, he probably did um, consider, and he has to consider. I believe he's got a kid. I believe he has a wife. You know, the family's set. You just got to you know, make sure you talk to those independent doctors and say, hey, what happens if I get another one? Uh, you know, but there's a 5-step plan that he has to do to get back just on the practice field. You just got to make sure that he is um, cleared to go because you don't want to put him out on the field too soon, and next thing you know, he is uh, now, if he retires, what happens to the salary cap? That is a good question here. Let me double check that here for you. Um, um, the 4-year, $212 million contract signed with uh, the seasons includes $167 million in injury guarantees. 43 has been already been paid. 43 million. Let me check SB Nation here. Um, um, let's see here. Fully guaranteed money is going to be paid no matter what the player performance is only voidable in cases that the contract is violated by suspension or violating the league's substance of penalty or personal conduct policies. Um, okay. Um, if for some reason, let me share this tab here because I think I found something here. And I'm going to zoom this, so don't worry. If for some reason Tua is not medically cleared, Miami will still have to pay his $124 million balance on the injury guarantees. They would likely be able to split these cap hits over the 25 and 26 seasons to be more manageable. And it's likely he would sit on the physically unable to perform list for that time in order to manage the cap ramifications. Some of the cap hit will be offset by the team's insurance, according to Overcap, because there's insurance that's involved as well. Um, um, his 2026, in the middle of 2025, his 2026 compensation transitions from injury guarantee to full guarantee. That represents at least one looming deadline that could force the Dolphins' hand in terms of medium term commitment to the quarterback. Um, if he is cleared and Miami releases him before that compensation fully becomes guaranteed, they will only owe him the remaining $50 million they owe him now, not be compelled to pay him the further $54 million. If he's medically cleared, and if a medically cleared Tua walks away now, he will have made 73 million in his NFL career and would not be paid any more money in the future. Uh, so, so it looks like the cap hits will be spread out over 2 years. So you do have a couple of different things that are going on there. Um, but like I said, I really hope that whatever decision he makes, it is the correct one. You know, because concussions are no joke. And, whether you've had one, you've had three, you've had however many, it's still horrible. And, you know, and I've had at least one that I know of, you know, and, you know, and the thing is, you know, with concussions and things like that, many times in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, we didn't know what concussions can do to the brain. Now we do, and that's why you're seeing those skull caps on the helmets, especially at practice. And you may eventually see them in games. I think one or two guys are right now, and I'm sure over time that is going to be adjusted a little bit, and the technology is also going to be there when when they as science progresses further. So like I said, hope he, just for the personal side, I hope he's okay. Let's not worry about football right now, but you never know. He may end up back there. I mean, the thing is, he may never have a concussion again, but we know the damage is done from what we know about concussions in the past. So hopefully he will be okay. Um, I did see this other one here, this other story, and this was a story that broke on Monday. I did cover it a little bit. Bryce Young of the Panthers has been benched. Andy Dalton will take over. Um, Dave Canales, the Carolina head coach, who is a quarterback whisperer, he didn't hesitate Wednesday when asked whether Bryce Young still has a chance to be a franchise quarterback. He said absolutely. Um, now Carolina's 0-2. Young was benched and is 2-16 in his pro career so far. So not good. Pretty putrid if you ask me. But Carolina's a shit show of a franchise right now, and it starts with the owner. Um, Now, Canales also debunked the possibility that the Panthers would consider trading the top pick of the 2023 draft. Now, I will say one thing, and you know, this is where you're going to see how Bryce Young reacts to even more adversity. Going 2-14 last year as a starter is adversity enough, but then you start off 0-2. You played a New Orleans team that beat the living crap out of you. The Chargers came in and beat you when you had most teams would have a chance with the Chargers because of the fact that they're a West Coast team traveling east. And if anybody knows, did the Chargers stay on the East Coast this week? Because that will affect my pick this weekend. So Um, so that's a little question I have, and probably need to ask somebody who's more familiar with the Chargers. But um, now, you know, um, Carolina players are all insisting that they still believe in Young, and sometimes it just takes quarterbacks longer to adjust, and and it's and maybe the break will help him. And it also helps that Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback this week because I think not only can he prepare for this game, he can say, "Hey, just to let you know, even in this position right now, you're a heartbeat away from playing again because we know how football is. We know how quarterbacks get injured." So I would say that if you're going to, um, you know, thank you so much, Old Man Burger. I do appreciate that. Have a good night, and we will catch you next time here. Thank you so much, Old Man Burger. He's one of our friends with SJ's crew. Um, you know, good dude as well. So, um, but when it comes to Bryce Young, um, you know, I think that you do have a quarterback in Andy Dalton who has been benched numerous times in his career, has been a backup the last 3 years. I think he can prepare him for when he does take back over, whenever that is, whether it's next week, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, next year. You got the perfect quarterback for that because Andy Dalton has been a serviceable quarterback as a starter with Cincinnati. He was in New Orleans, he was in Dallas, he was in another place or two before Carolina, I believe. Off the top of my head, it's not coming to me. But like what some of the players are saying, um, Miles Sanders is definitely not over. Definitely, he's smart, he's fast, he's the first one in the building, he's the last one out. It's definitely not over, and it's how he reacts with this team, and also the quarterback room, so to speak. You know, if he's willing to learn, and I think having Andy Dalton there will help him, even though Andy Dalton isn't a running type of quarterback. He's not as athletic, but you don't, you get a different feel for things. Adam Thielen said he loved Young and would fight for him. I'm excited for his future. Just in the moment, watching him practice today, the throws he was making, his confidence. He can do it at a high level. Uh, and also, teammates were adamant that Young's size has never been a factor in his struggles. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. You know, but Young's going to speak to the media on Thursday, and we'll get to see what's inside his head right now. Hey, I'm benched, but you know what? It's a learning opportunity. That's what I would want to see. I want to see him. I want to see how he reacts if that's still going to happen. And SJ says it's interesting, and I think that's about Bryce Young being the quarterback, having a press conference. Um, but you know, but you know what? I think in a way it may be a good thing for him. And Dave Canales said that um, he went right back to work today, and that's what you want from a guy who was benched. Not somebody who's moping around. Apparently, he dove into the game plan. We had our conversations in the quarterback room, talked about reads, about what we see from the defense. He followed up with a great day on the field, fantastic throw. So, you know, and I'm going to bring up a point here as well before I get, you know, you can be the best quarterback in practice. It's just, can it translate to games? It's kind of like horse racing. Some horses, they're great in the mornings and they don't do shit when it's race time. Or it's the other way around. You got horses that just do not like to work out, do not like to train. A perfect example is the horse Tisnow, who is the only horse to win 2 Breeders' Cup Classics. He never wanted to train, but there were times where Tisnow just said, "Mm, I'm not going," and he would just stand there and lock into the ground and refuse to run. But when it was go time, race day, he made sure he ran and he made sure he did what he did to win. But you know, it may just be that maybe he's a kid that does well in practice and just it just doesn't translate to games. That may be what's happening here on top of everything else. I'm not going to talk about X's and O's here. I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm more of in the head type things. And but he's got the worst record through 18 games of any quarterback selected with the top pick in the Super Bowl era. Trevor Lawrence, Troy Aikman, Burt Jones, and Jack Thompson were all 3-15 in their first 18 games. But I mean, there is a ray of hope. Troy Aikman went from a 2-16 start to winning 3 Super Bowls. So, and he is in the Hall of Fame as well. So, um, I have so many thoughts. Uh, she has so many thoughts, but she's driving. Well, why are you messaging me while you're driving, young lady? Since it is my birthday, I can't call you young lady because I am an old fart. Mike can confirm that I'm an old fart. And you know, but anyways, before I get to the next story here, which is also Hall of Fame related, I do want to tell you about Rebet. And there we go. You should be able to hear me now, and if not, that's fine. Um, but anyways, Rebet is a new partner of Bleacher Brothers, and it is a sports book, but it's also a sports book that has a element of um, it has an element of a social media thing, social media as well, where you can see what your friends are wagering. Not only that, you can talk amongst your friends there, and you can also challenge them as well. It's We have a deal on BleacherBrothers.com, and I probably should have put the link on the YouTube page, but I I even with me starting a half an hour late, I still didn't start on time. So give me one of those. But anyways, if you use the link on the Bleacher Brothers page, and I will show you where you can get it. It's very simple. Um, you will get a 100% match up to $100. So you put $100 in, you get 100. You put in 50, they give you 50, but you have to go through the advertisement that's on the main page because I did not link you guys up. If you want the link, I am more than happy to give it to you. Um, it's a fun little app. It's available in four. I think AJ said 45 states. I thought it was 46 or 47, and uh, confirmed. Uh, SJ asked if she could join. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a second here. I'm doing this read here. But anyway, well, this advertisement, I should say. And thankfully, Rebet, probably the people aren't watching, but, thankfully that's not the case. But if you're looking for a fun little, well, I call it a fun little sports book, it's available. Well, it's available in 45 or 46 states. I do know that it's not. Um, SJ, I will look into that. I believe that you are good because I was surprised it was available in Pennsylvania because 99.99% of sports books in Pennsylvania have to be associated with a sports book. Now, once you complete that, whether it's SJ, whether it's Mike, because I've told Mike, first of all, I told him, bet within your means, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing, 1-800-GAMBLER. And if you have a gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER, give the official thing there. But if you get if you $100 match, you can do that as well. Um, But I will check into whether it's Connecticut for you, SJ, um, because I found out it was available in Pennsylvania. I do know that Idaho and Nevada are two states that you cannot use it. Nevada, I'm not surprised because they do everything to protect their brick and mortar casinos. That's why I have like Westgate Superbalk and MGM, which actually started there. But um, uh, you know, but I will check into that for you, SJ, and I will, I will check into that thing as well. And but if you go to the Bleacher Brothers page, which is right there, um, whoops, did not want to do it like that. So let me get out of this. Well, first let me get rid of that. Then we'll go back to the main page here, and now I'll share my scene here. Um, if you go to the main Bleacher Brothers page here, now, first of all, if you don't see my article here and you want to see what I like tomorrow at Aqueduct, and I forget to link you guys up on my personal Facebook as well as my uh, X account, scroll down here to horse racing, Quills picks winners. It's going to be a busy weekend for me because I'm going to be looking at Thursday's race, Friday's race, and probably all 14 races at Parks, which probably means 4 or 5 articles. But it's on there a couple of different times. You just click on the link, boom, scan it, iPhone or Android. You may have to use the code Bleacher Brothers, so remember to do that if it asks you for that. I think with the iPhone, you just had to scan. So uh, actually, let me do that again here. That's where you will click on. You'll get the thing, and you may have to use the code Bleacher Brothers on iPhone. I know you will have to on Android. Get that cash bonus, and we will. And once you do that, especially if you're watching this show tonight, uh, let me know that you did that. I'll let AJ know. I do get a commission for that. Probably shouldn't say it like that, but you know, but we'll go on with that in a little bit. So anyway, so that is rebet. Um, it's a fun little thing. I have AJ on there. I follow a couple other guys who are Bleacher Brothers as well. It's a fun little app here, um, and I will check into Connecticut for SJ. Let me make a note here so that um, SJ won't be disappointed in me. Um, and I will say right now, SJ, I'm pretty sure it's yes because Um, last I checked, it was 46 states, not 45. AJ said 45 on his show tonight. Um, I kind of remember Michigan for some reason, but I definitely know you're not allowed to be a hoe. So, if you're in Idaho, you're SOL. If you're in Nevada, you're SOL. But I believe that you can. No, it's just sportsbook. So SJ probably just said to me, yeah. Um, but actually, let me check something here for you. Um, and if I can share it real fast, so I can help SJ. Bet. Uh, mm, 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 mm. And I'm just checking here real quick. Uh, Now, this question is rebet available in my state? It just says, with the exception of Idaho and Nevada, it's available in all states. But I saw a map here at one time, and I just need to find it here. Um, and I do apologize because we were steaming right along, and you know, this is the things I do for SJ. Let's see. Get involved. Hmm. All right. I found it the other night. I found that map. I will find it later on, SJ. I promise. Um, you might have to give me a swift kick somewhere, but well, thankfully you're 3 hours away, 3 4 hours away, so you can't give me a swift kick in the huevos. So, um, but anyways, let's go on to the next story. This is a story that will interest SJ, even though, um, and Mike said I should never disappoint SJ. Yeah, at least I'm not as disappointing as one Philly who I found out is the culprit for that girl giving up her season tickets and all that other stuff last week. But we won't mention that name because I'm not going to get into trouble. Uh, she's pulling in right now, ladies and gentlemen, and you know, but unlike, but she's pulling in. So she is doing the exact opposite of Tyreek Hill, but Tyreek Hill, that's another story. Me just being a pig that I am, whatever. But anyways, uh, so um, so let me know if you want me to talk about this. Well, actually, both of these stories are SJ related. So I don't know if she wants me to do it while she's on her phone or she wants me to wait a couple of minutes so we can, excuse me, you know, if she wants me to wait till she gets to her laptop or whatever, or she wants me um, to start this up with the Hall of Fame and then the WNBA story, which she knows about. Well, I'm not getting a response, so I'm starting. So, if I'm if I'm going to disappoint her, let me disappoint her now, so that months into the future, whatever that would be, the reason why I would disappoint her, like if my Eagles beat the crap out of her Giants like 73-0, stuff like that as well. So, anyways, um, Eli Manning, that goofy face Special Olympian that made it in the NFL, and I'm sure SJ's like, man, you better not have you better not have a step stool around me because I will get up on that step stool and go whack. But anyways, um, Eli Manning, Luke Kuechly, he was the guy that I was talking about on Monday or last week or Monday night when one player that was hit so hard with a concussion he started crying, and how you have those weird things that happen from time to time. I think it was him that suffered that concussion where he started crying. Also, Terrell Suggs and postseason kicking hero Adam Vinatieri are among the first-time nominees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2025. The Hall announced 167 modern era candidates for the class Wednesday. That included 16 players who became eligible this year, including two-time All-Pro guard Marshall Yanda. Um, Now, the screening committee will reduce the list of nominees. Smoke is rating us here. Um, Welcome in, Smoke. I hope you had a fun evening stream there. Uh, and we got a hairline check. Thank you, Smoke. Uh, you know, all that doesn't translate with my program that I used to stream out to. But all right, I'm not gonna lie, my hair sucks. Okay, but I did have everybody here. So, and if I mispronounce, uh, NKP, welcome in. Um, Smoke is one of SJ's friends, one of my friends as well. I watched her stream this morning or early this afternoon before I uh, left early. Uh, Thank you so much, Smoke. Um, and yes, I know, SJ, I need to do the shout outs and other commands, okay? Maybe tomorrow, maybe you get up on that step stool and go, whoopa, hee haw. So, no, I did not, but I still have enough money to play on Saturday. I didn't go too deep into my wallet. Um, uh, and if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I do apologize. NKP, um, NKP asked for the hairline check. I admit I'm going bald. I just don't care. I just had this on from when I went to the mall. I went to the casino today. Um, I think that's pronounced it's whole. Welcome in. If I mispronounce your name, I apologize in advance. Because trust me, I try to get names as correctly as possible. Um, I think that's Deidre, and if I pronounce it wrong, I apologize as well. Um, uh, and Thanks for saying sorry. Yeah, I mean the thing is, you know, I know from being a public address announcer every once in a while, I do occasionally, you know, you do mention names wrong, and sometimes, um, you know, I'll just call you It's, unless you want me to call you something else. Um, Probably what I need to do is since I'm trying to get to affiliate, SJ, that's one of her main things with me right now is get me to affiliate. Um, it's pronounced Joel. Okay, okay. So I do apologize. And one thing I probably should do, um, and call me Daddy. Okay. Uh, but anyways, seriously though, I do appreciate everybody for coming here. My name is Joe Quills, and it is my birthday stream as well. But you know, we're just having fun here tonight. Even though I am talking a couple of different stories I uh, did see here tonight. I am a member of Bleacher Brothers. We are a sports radio. We are a sports group. Um, we have our um, bleacherbrothers.com website. I write horse racing articles. I handicap the races. Um, we have a fun little group of guys that do all different things and have different specialties. And like SJ says, let's get this man to affiliate. She uses the term man loosely there. No, I'm like kidding. But seriously, I am Joe Quills. I am a part-time streamer, but it is I do starting in October. We're going to be doing 4 nights a week. It's going to be part of the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. You will be able to download that app. So let's say you want to listen to another person's show on the app. Um, you know, um, you know, it may be, you may want to listen to the morning show, whoever will be hosting that. You may want to listen to my show. You may want to listen to the main Bleacher Brothers show. Whatever show it is, we'll have a whole bunch of different shows that's going to be coming out. Um, um, you know, SJ, do not delete that. I think that's I'm given leeway there. So, but but seriously, um, yeah, I do horse racing. I do this show, which is going to be Monday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. We'll have more of a hard stop. Um, we'll have more of a hard stop at 11 o'clock once we go digital onto the app. And we'll, we have some fun here. And I am considering options as well. Mike knows about them because I talked to him about it tonight because Mike is probably going to be my Monday night guy when we go digital and once we get him a brand new computer as well. But I do appreciate everybody coming here tonight and check out Bleacher Brothers for all your sports needs. And if you're looking for a sports book or you're looking for a jersey or anything like that, check out all our ads on there because on bleacherbrothers.com we have all different promotions and connections and all that stuff. Let's say you want a jersey, click our Fanatics ad. You want to you want to join a sports book and you finally got into a state where you can actually bet on the games. I know, like, for example, Smoke, you know, she got stuck with Hard Rock Bets and, thoughts and prayers to her for having to deal with that horrible app. Now she's in Tennessee. She used the FanDuel app. And where did she get that reference from? From bleacherbrothers.com. So, yeah, so um, is the lotion and Kleenex combo in the back? No, I have everything else. I got a backup TV which I used on Monday night for the Eagles game. Um, you know, I have my pillow right there. That's a tribute to my dad. That's an inside story that SJ and Mike know. And we just have fun. And yeah, uh, yeah. SJ's going to be on OnlyFans under the username of Only Degens. So check her out there on OnlyFans. No, I'm only kidding, but 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 I will tell you one thing here. Um, Seriously, and this is all part of um, um, and this is in all seriousness because if you become a regular viewer here, I will tell you bet within your means. I go more personal than just saying 1-800 gambler if you have a gambling problem. I will tell you when probably next weekend when I give you my picks for that week, I am going to tell you, hey, it's rent week. I'm not playing these wagers, but if you do, this is what I think for those games. I'm not afraid to tell you I don't I'm protecting my money. I got bills to pay. Do that because it's, gambling can be a fun thing, win or lose. It can also be agonizing as hell, like the Phillies today, blowing my fucking parlay. And Mike can argue with that. Uh, SJ bet on Australian basketball at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can vouch for that. We gamble everything on here: croquet, horses. Um, I actually hit a couple of years ago. I hit a three-team English Premier League parlay. So, uh, so yeah. So I hit a parlay. Um, and SJ's telling me to parlay, which her rule number one is stop parlaying. But SJ, the thing is, it was stop means do it. Kind of like, what my mom told my buddy Mike. Don't encourage him, which just encourages me more to tell bad jokes. Um, but you know, um, but seriously, it was just a hunch play, and it wasn't like I went deep into my pocket, throwing the entire load of money that I had in my pocket on this parlay. It was just I was going to play the Phillies, and then I saw the Union was playing NYCFC, and I was like, "Fuck it." Played a two-team parlay, Phillies money line, Union money line, and the best part about a soccer wager is that it's a three-way wager. And if you know me, I love a three-way. But anyways, yeah, yeah. SJ is probably the person that you take to the racetrack. After that, it was a 10-leg parlay. And the only reason why she played San Jose to close out that parlay, according to her, was because that parlay had San Jose, whose initials are SJ, just like her. Uh, who doesn't love a good three-way? Right now, P Diddy. I'm sorry. Uh, but anyways, yeah. So Eli Manning is going into is part of the uh, process of going into the Hall of Fame. Uh, and you can tell that we have gone into the gutter. Uh, not wrong. I'm not going to complain. Wash your mouth out about my goat P. Diddy. Uh, you know, trying to keep it professional, but because you never know who's going to watch this, truthfully. But this is I like having fun, and this is going. SJ still on the three-way. Um, SJ, I got an idea. I'll pretend I'm schizophrenic and we can call it a three-way. Okay, thank you. No, seriously. Uh, SJ, professional? Question mark. I bet you are. I think that's about SJ still being on that three-way. I wish my feds didn't get my king Diddy. Yeah. Um, uh, I started the three-way talk because when you bet on soccer and three-way, huh? Yeah, it's just regular stuff on there. But anyways, I mentioned three-way because in soccer, and you can also do this. Uh, you can do this in hockey as well, which would be a 60-minute line. Soccer would be a 90-minute and penalty line, penalty time line. I think they do it in basketball. Baseball, I think so, but it's so far down that you have to really dig for it. They do have three-way wagers, which means in terms of let's just use soccer because my winner of that parlay, the winning leg was the soccer one. You got a choice of the home team, the road team, or you can pick a draw. And ironically enough, when I hit that English Premier League parlay, it was just a three-legger. Um, you know, uh, one of the three legs was a draw, and I did get the draw in that race. I was like, damn, things are going your way when you hit that. So that probably uh, rules that. Actually, I got one. I actually got one thing better than SJ in the degenerate category. Um, SJ bet on Australian basketball at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I can vouch for that. Now, granted, she probably fell asleep and missed the end of the game, but I was talking with one of my friends on Facebook who's Australian, and I said, just for shits and giggles, who do you like in this Australian rules football game? I bet on Australian rules football, and I am proud to say that I'm a career 1-0 record in Australian rules football. I will not bet Australian rules football again because I have retired from Australian rules football as a 100% winner. So, I will tell you all the times that, I'm a zero and everything, but hey, I'm still winning at 100%. Um, uh, you bet on your bowling score tonight was the over under 69? Or was it 69 and a half? Because you have to do it in a half if you want to make sure that all the monies get, uh, they do switch hands because, You ain't having the over under right at 69 and you get exactly a 69 and everybody says, "Ah, shit, man. I didn't make any money. I didn't lose any money. Come on." Under 158? Oh, come on. It should have been 138 because 138 is 69 times 2. Come on, SJ. I'm disappointed in you. I'm not sure I can use this audio for a podcast, but if I do, it may be something uh, that'll be like, "Oh dear Jesus," but um, but you know, um, but seriously, I did bet on Australia rules football once when I was in Vegas. I think it was what was it? I think it was in the spring because I forget when their football season runs because I think it runs. I don't even know when the season runs, but it was a winter, and I was just like, cool. But anyways, so Eli Manning is up for the Hall of Fame. 8 of 9. 8 of 9. Yeah, I'm still trying to get my points out here because uh, you know, I'm trying to give Eli Manning his props, even though he does look like the poster child for the Special Olympics every time he makes an Eli Manning face. But seriously, he did beat Tom Brady twice. The other guy that beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl recently retired. His name is Big Dick Nick. Uh, leave Special Eli alone. Okay, all right. He beat the GOAT twice, but did he catch and throw a touchdown pass in the same game like Big Dick Nick Foles? No. But anyways, I digress. But I give you, yeah, I do give him credit. He did win 2 Super Bowls. Oh shit. Listen, he's a hofer. What's a hofer? Oh, Hall of Famer. Nah, seriously. Um, 8 of 9 quarterbacks that have won 2 Super Bowls and are eligible have made it to the Hall of Fame. The only one that has not is Jim Plunkett. I don't know why he didn't get in. Because sometimes it's about the Super Bowl. But you know, Eli did win 2 Super Bowls, um, but the problem I do foresee is the fact that he was a 500 quarterback, and uh, who what, where am I at? Seriously, are you talking about who's Jim Plunkett, or are you talking about Eli? If it's Jim Plunkett, just say Jim. I'll save you some typing trouble. And for those that are listening or watching after the fact, we do have a live chat that goes on, and it's very active tonight. Uh, but Eli Manning is a 500 quarterback. What is he? 140 and 140, 124 and 124, however the numbers work out. Um, you know, if the thing is, if he did not win the Super Bowl, he was out first game. Now, you can say that he beat the GOAT 2 times. Granted, I still say Joe Montana, but that argument is null and void. But um, you do have a, um, you can't deny, uh, that that Eli won 2 Super Bowls. Um, and the Giants knew how to stop. Um, but um, But you gotta give Eli Manning credit because he did what he had to do to win the game, and that's what matters. 2 late touchdowns, a late touchdown in each of those games to win those Super Bowls. Give him his due, and thankfully, I won't have to deal with um, well, I had to deal with it last year with the Niners and the Chiefs. Hopefully for my sake, I don't have a Super Bowl where it's like I have zero rooting interest because both those teams just annoy the hell out of me, like the Patriots and the Giants do. The Patriots because they were winning all the time, and the Giants because they were a division rival. Even though SJ and I have fun with the rivalry quite a bit. So, um, but anyway, so Terrell Suggs is up there. Adam Vinatieri, he's going to get in there. Whether he gets in there first try, second try, nobody cares how many tries it takes to get you into the Super Bowl, unless you're just a really bad sports fan. Um, you know, you get that gold jacket, you know, you've reached immortality status, and I'm sure Eli will get in there. Whether he's first time Hall of Famer or a fifth timer or whatever. As long as you get that jacket, even though it's always a fun thing to hear. I don't think you hear it too much on local sports talk radio, but you hear it a lot with the Dan Patrick Show, for example, where you have the Hall of Very Good, the Hall of Famers, and the Penthouse, which is the first timers. It's just trying to start conversation, but I get what they're trying to do. But a Hall of Famer is a Hall of Famer is a Hall of Famer, whether it's on your first try, on your fifth try, on your 10th try, for the Veterans Committee, Committee. But you get the idea. So, um, but it's all, um, he's going to get in. I just wonder, does he, um, but the one thing I will say, SJ, are you offended if I say that he should not go in first year? But but if he goes in first year, I'm not going to say, oh, that's just a mistake. He's in, he's in. But I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. But you do have to give him his props for beating Tom Brady twice. You know, no matter how goofy he looks or the faces he's made, or you know. But seriously, I think she's saying I'm crazy. Uh, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Happy birthday. Thank you very much, NKP. Um, SJ is saying he's a first ballot. And Noel says happy birthday. Now, I noticed that um, I know that Gracie didn't say it because she has a rough life. Get it? Rough? Ha 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 ha. But, happy Burkus. Uh, Ask Smoke. Okay. But, that's the fun thing here. And especially when I do this. So, you know, uh, and I'm interested with SJ's opinion on this. Uh, no. Well, well, Smoke is the person that sent her viewers over here, and I do appreciate that as well. Because I try to have fun with this. Slip a joke in every now and then. And Gracie says happy birthday as well, and I say thank you. Uh, and I say, yeah. But I do have to tell you one thing. I did find out something about Noel, and SJ does know about this before, but I'm going to let you guys know as well. Um, just want to let you know, I do know that Noelle does like meat. I asked her, "How do you like it?" She said, "Rare, rare, rare." I know, but it's not as good as the dad joke I put on your Discord the other day. But anyways, on to the final story here that I saw here, and this has SJ written all over it. Um, my best pickup line is "Hey baby, wanna wrestle?" Uh, actually, that doesn't work. Anyways, um, but seriously, the WNBA is expanding even more. They are going back to Portland with a team beginning play in 2026. And SJ, if you want to go pineapple on him, it's up to you. Use your judgment. SJ's trying to get that LUL so you can get the icon there. But seriously, no, seriously, it's up to you. I trust your good judgment, and I know you'd like to time people out. I know you like doing that from time to time. It's okay. And if not, if you don't want to, it's fine too. I'm not complaining either way. But let me on. Uh, do you want to be on camera here? Because I can send you the link right now. All right, so I'm going to send you the link. Gmail. Ah, Christ. SJ, just before I send this, um, is it the same email as on your that I sent your fantasy football invite, or did I even send you an invite? I'm going to send you a text, SJ, because you want to talk WNBA, right, SJ? I just sent you a text, so confirm that, and I will send this out here. You'll have it in your inbox in about 15 seconds. Email is sent, SJ. Just make sure. Well, you know what you're doing, but just make sure you um, allow your allow your microphone and camera to be available, or at least your microphone. You know, so I will see you pop in if you click on that link on there. Just name yourself SJ or whatever, Miss WNBA, WNBA writer to the stars. You know, and this is impromptu, and this is the good thing about not being on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network app yet is I can start late, I can run long, um, and I'll also give you some thoughts of what I may do come October. So I'm just waiting to see if SJ does get the invite. It's in your email, and there's a link that you would click on, and then the WNBA Queen will be with us. And while we wait here, I do want to show this again here. Um, just remind you about also eligible, and if SJ's having any technical issues, we could plan this out for another night. Um, this is just an impromptu thing that just came up because SJ's like, I want to talk WNBA, but but I do want to remind you about um, also eligible this Saturday. It's on the Bleacher Brothers platforms. It's Saturday, 10 a.m. And here you go. Uh, here's the here's the ad that I uh, came up with this morning or this afternoon when I went to the casino on my birthday. Here you go. Hey guys, Joe Quills from Bleacher Brothers here live at Parks on this Wednesday afternoon. Just want to remind you that we will be covering the Pennsylvania Derby and Cotillion on Also Eligible, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific on the Bleacher Brothers channels. And who knows, maybe you get to see me up there sometime Saturday afternoon. BleacherBrothers.com, we got you all covered for the Pennsylvania Derby and Cotillion. Um, so I'm just waiting to see if SJ can get on here. If not, we can plan it for another night. But I know you did want to mention. Um, I know the moment you heard me start talking, that I wanted to mention WNBA here. Give you a shot here, and if not, that's fine. I'm not. Um, she may be putting on makeup, or she would do what I would do because I'm not the most attractive person in the world. Maybe no, I'm not going to say it. But I would be putting a bag over my head on her show because, look at me. But seriously, um, you know, we're we're just having fun here on this Wednesday night. We will be going to 4 days a week on the first week of October. Got some fun stuff that's going to be coming up. Um, but But some of the I do have. Well, while we're waiting here, um, I am toying with a couple of ideas right now. Mike knows about it. I think he's still here. He's just laughing his ass off at some of the things that uh, he's there, and his wife is probably saying, "Is that your friend?" That's the other equivalent to "Don't encourage him" or "He's your friend" or something like that. But um, yeah, Mike's still here. So I told Mike about this today, and I think what may be happening. Um, oh shit!
Oh,
Look who's arrived. Ladies
hi.
and gentlemen, SJ is in the witness protection program, so she's only going to have her camera, only have her microphone on, which is fine.
I mean, I could put
But
my camera on. It's just kind of dark.
okay, whatever. Well, it'd still be fitting of the witness protection program.
I mean,
There she is.
well, say hi.
Oh, there's Noelle. Hi, Noelle.
Say happy birthday, Joe.
Oh, thank you, Noelle.
It's my girl.
Yep,
Happy birthday, Joe. Hope you're having a good
thank
day.
you. Yeah, I'm having fun today. How are you tonight?
I'm great. I went golfing, went bowling. It's a good time.
Good, good. And you want to talk WNBA, and how do you feel about this move to Portland? Which I have to, before you give your comment, I do have to give a shout out to Pork Chop Express, who's not here tonight. He actually hinted to me on Monday Night Show that WNBA was looking into Portland. So I'll let you
Yeah.
take it away.
Oh no, I mean, I think it's great. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Portland was a defunct franchise a long time ago. I think it was a Portland Fire.
That is correct.
I think it was in 2002, maybe.
Yeah, they folded in 2002. They were in the league for 3 seasons.
Yeah, so how successful it was, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
they did. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, 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 no. Go ahead.
They folded when the league moved to central ownership to individual ownership of the teams. That was one of the reasons.
Wait, why?
It says on here they entered the WNBA as expansion fire in 2000 before folding after 2002 when the league moved from central ownership to individual ownership of teams.
Hmm, interesting.
Now that's ESPN. It may be wrong. Who knows? But
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, the Portland Fire, Sacramento Monarchs, Miami Soul, Houston Comets,
hmm
Cleveland Rockers, and Charlotte Sting are all defunct franchises.
yeah, yeah. And who knows? Maybe you see a WNBA team in some of those areas. But I think, especially with this article that came up, I think you may see the WNBA go into cities that do have a strong presence. For example, in women's soccer, because they did mention how the Portland Thorns are a keystone franchise to that league.
Yeah, and much to your point, I think a lot of these teams, um, I think Portland's been in the mix. I won't say how I knew that. Just Portland's been in the mix for a while. Um, but I think the Portland Thorns have more of a, you know, influence on this than the Trailblazers, if you want my honest
Yeah.
opinion. Like if you look at the Valkyries, like you have Golden State Warriors.
hmm
It's unclear if the Raptors are really going to be like the team, but look at the Dallas Wings. They have a in a lifetime partnership with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
So, do I think Portland, I mean, am I excited about the new city? It's hard to say. I
hmm
think the league has a lot of issues that they needed to change before they expanded it, but I'd like to see maybe some other cities. I think they have a good amount of West Coast.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think it would have been cool to see maybe a team come to like maybe one of the Carolinas.
Hmm.
or maybe like Boston. But how about the Houston Comets? I mean, that was a great team.
Yeah, they won the
And
first four titles.
I think that would have been a great team to bring back. That's just my opinion. But
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe over time um, they do end up doing that. Because I know, um, you know, Philly's been in the mix. I don't think it's going to work out, but
yeah,
with the new arena coming potentially, which the mayor of Philadelphia is on, and I'll get more into that tomorrow night because I didn't get a chance to read that. But if they
are they staying
move,
in Philly?
uh, the mayor is in on the Center City location, which is going to be at 10th and Market,
Mm,
and it's right near a major transit hub. So be almost like Madison Square Garden. But sometimes you get these things where you go to, oh, we're going to go to Jersey, we're going to go to Jersey. They end up in Philly, but
yeah.
the only thing is they're going to get a lot of Sixers have been getting a lot of backlash because Chinatown is right on the other side of Market Street.
Is that close to where the venue is now?
It's like a block away.
So you think they're going to end up staying in Philly?
I mean, I have to read that article and all that, but it broke when I was out with Mike this afternoon, and maybe over time that's going to get the Sixers into their own arena, which they want. That's what those owners want, and maybe over time WNBA does go to Philly at a centralized location like that because the Sixers owners, they're going to need to fill that arena up, not just for basketball,
Yeah.
concerts, other sporting events. I'm sure that now you'll have the Sixers and the Flyers fighting over who gets the East Regionals or the East first round. There's so many different things you can look at, and and I can hear everybody complaining about the parking now, and I know what it's like because my office is right around the corner from it.
Yeah. I mean, WNBA coming to Philly would be great. A
Hmm.
lot of basketball players have Philly roots, and I think I'd like to think the 76ers are a good franchise. I don't know what's his name, Daryl Morey. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him, but you know, I think the WNBA. I've heard the commissioner speak, and they really want people who are invested, and not only invested in the teams, but that are invested in women's basketball,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah.
So
And the Sixers, I mean not the Sixers, the Philadelphia did have a team in the other women's basketball league. I believe it was the Philadelphia Rage, but
hmm,
they didn't last. They only lasted a year or two, and they played at the Palestra, which is an iconic arena in University City, right down the
hmm,
street from my school, Drexel.
interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I just don't. I mean, listen, it's all about who's going to invest, right? In money. At the end of the day, I personally like. I'm excited to see more expansion, but you just got one in the north in Toronto. That's why I didn't understand Portland because it's more like north, obviously to the west.
Right.
Um, I don't know. I just don't. I'm not like a big fan of like Portland. I don't think of it as like a basketball city, but again, you talked about the Portland Thorns. Maybe this is really good for women's basketball, and that's the only other thing I can think besides money. Why the heck you would go to Portland
Hmm.
out of all the cities? Because they
And
had
they
like
all,
Nashville. There's a ton of cities.
yeah, and they also had the women's regionals in Portland this year.
Yeah.
That played a part in it. They're going to be hosting the women's Final Four in 2030. Um, but I did see that the Moda Center is going to be doing a 2-year renovation, so they may be playing across the street from there at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum or whatever the Coliseum
I was
name
gonna
is
say,
for
where
Portland.
are they gonna play where the Trailblazers are? I'm assuming.
In the long term, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I don't know, like because you have Seattle right there.
Hmm.
So it's like it doesn't make a whole ton of sense to me, but then again, it's all about who's willing to invest and willing to throw down and I think I've heard the commissioner speak and it's not only about money, it's about, you know, state of the art facilities, it's about, you know, investing in the actual
Hmm.
team.
Yeah, and it's going to be owned and operated by RAJ Sports,
Yep.
which is Lisa Blathel
Yep.
Barrage and her brother Alex. Now they're the majority owners of the Portland Thorns. So
Not even
they're
the
invested.
Trailblazers. That's crazy.
They're invested in women's sports, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's key. The one of the reasons why, because
Yeah.
it's somebody who's already invested in women's sports.
Yeah, that's key. Okay, that makes
hmm
more sense now.
Yeah. And also, what I said on Monday night when Pork Chop Express was here, he hinted at that. Now, I didn't think that they would announce it today, 2 days after he gave me a hint about it. But I look at it the way baseball is, because when you look at the Major League Baseball map, Seattle is in their own island. They're
Isn't
way
Seattle pictured like that area? What do they call it? It's like
Pacific
Portland.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But when you look at baseball, Seattle is all by itself, and the closest flight is like 2.5 hours to Oakland or Sacramento. So every flight
Yeah.
that the Mariners have is a minimum 2.5 hour flight. The same would be the case probably with the Seattle Storm, but the way that they schedule, they may have a team stay there for 2 days in a row,
Yeah,
or
true.
3 days, and
True.
have two games in that arena, the Climate Pledge Arena.
True.
Now, what they can do is, if they really want to, okay, Connecticut, New York, Washington, we got to have them play the West Coast teams here. Well, guess what? Now with Portland, you could have a game in Seattle, a game in Portland. You could hit both those teams on the same road trip.
Huh. Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
hmm
I thought they would have
And
added maybe a more California team.
yeah, I mean that may
Um,
eventually happen, because I think what we're seeing is because of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, you know, I don't know if I want to call them the old guard, because you had this nice mix of the veterans and also the rookies that came in this year.
mhm.
Women's sports is making a major boom. The ratings are probably through the roof this year compared to last year. I know the attendance is up mainly because of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. I mean, you got to
Yeah, I
give
mean,
credit
and the
to everybody
attendance
else.
last year was
Yeah.
up way up from the last year. The only thing I will say about the whole Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is like, yeah, you can't deny the Caitlin Clark effect at all.
hmm
I mean, listen, these rookies have brought the game to new heights, but what people aren't really seeing, Joe, is that the game was right there, right? I mean, they may have put it over the edge, but when I went to the Liberty games last year, they were also though.
Yeah.
Their vibe.
Yeah. Now, granted, they are curtaining off seats for the
Oh yeah.
fact, crowd control and everything else. But, you get into the WNBA finals, the demand's even more. So, why not? Let's
Oh
raise the
yeah.
curtains. Let's raise the curtains. Let's use the entire 15, 20,000 seats, whatever Barclays holds, and let's let's sell even more tickets, because you can always,
Yeah.
with a curtained off arena, you can say, hey, let's add to the attendance here because the demand is there. Judge
Yeah,
by
true.
supply and demand. That's all you have to do.
I believe the maximum is 17 or 18,000. About
Yeah,
18,000.
yeah, yeah, and you know, I'm sure that's what they are probably doing this year as well.
Yeah.
If the demanding requires more seats, boom, you can do it. Like
True.
Vegas, they're very lucky. They can literally walk up the street from the Mandalay Bay to the T-Mobile Center, which is between the Excalibur and New York, New York.
Gotcha.
And you know me, I know my Vegas. But so but yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because you got three teams joining in the next 2 years, I believe. Is Golden State next year?
Yeah, so Golden State is 2025, and I believe Toronto is 2026, and then Portland's 2026.
Yeah. So, the game's growing, and this is something that you have to do because you want the game to grow. You want to maximize all the money and everything else. You want to maximize those profits, and you got the players out there that will help you maximize those profits.
Yeah, true. Well, I think I don't know. At first I thought the Sacramento Monarchs was going to come back, and I said, I don't know about Sacramento. Like, I know they're
Yeah.
like big in the NBA, but I don't know. I don't know though. I thought, like I said, I think Miami would have been great again. These defunct franchises, but even I don't know, man. Like the Houston Comets, just like you got to bring it back.
Yeah. And
Gotta
maybe
bring
they do. But I
maybe,
think also you
maybe.
want to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said maybe. I
Yeah.
mean,
I think you got to go to the untapped markets first.
yeah. Well, I think they were looking at Nashville, but I'm like, there's not really an NBA team that can support them there.
No. Um, I mean, I'm not sure how far Knoxville is from Nashville, but
I
Tennessee's
don't
women's
know.
program has been one of the top programs in women's basketball for decades. I mean, they had a couple of down years, but they're still an iconic program in women's sports.
Oh yeah.
You know, and does the NBA want to go to Boston because you already have Connecticut and New York?
Well, here's my thing. I really thought, originally when they had that game in Boston with LA and Connecticut, I said, well, maybe they're checking it out. But then when I went to an Aces Sun game, what was that, like 3 weeks ago now? You should have seen the people there. Like,
Hmm.
I've been going to Mohegan for a long time, and it's like just to see the Sun fans increase, like there weren't really that many fans. It
Yeah.
was all like just going to the games, like,
Hmm.
and I didn't realize this, but Connecticut clearly has a market, which is
Yeah.
crazy, but we do.
Yeah. And it's tied in with the casino, and I'm sure that they
Yeah,
have promotions with the casino. And if
yeah.
when next summer comes around, let me know the promotions. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Uh,
Oh yeah. I
yeah.
still want to take you to a Liberty game. Like Liberty games are unmatched. Like they are so much fun.
Well,
They
it
really
may
are.
not be until next summer, but
Yeah, they're
because
fun.
I'm not going to make you pay through the teeth for a game just because you just want to take me to a game or whatever.
Oh, the
Have me,
playoffs.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because I am bad luck with playoff games lately.
Okay, good to know.
Because let's go through this rundown here. 2010, I had tickets to Game 6 of the League Championship Series, Phillies and Giants. Phillies lose. 2011, I have tickets for Game 5, Phillies and Cardinals. That's a game where Ryan Howard blows out his Achilles and the Phillies lose 1-0. Fast
Yep.
forward to 2021. I go with my buddy from high school. We go to the Union NYCFC game. Union lose.
Huh.
So,
Interesting. Yeah.
but also when you hear that, you also think, he may have lost 3, 4 games in a row, but maybe he's due for a win. But it's not my team. I don't really have a WNBA team. I'm just along for the ride when you make those articles and we come up with those bets. And
Yeah. Yeah.
even my bet that you put under your name, and feel free to say that it was a totally misguided bet, blah blah blah. I'll take the heat for it.
I mean, speaking of heat, this is kind of random, but like I said, I wish they brought back the Miami Soul.
Yeah, and
That would have
maybe
been a
they will.
great franchise. Eh,
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. They have an opportunity. I mean, there is the demand for women's basketball right now, WNBA basketball. At least I think.
Okay.
And we'll see if that's true or not.
Yeah.
I think I mean, you never know. Doesn't is Paige Becker still in school?
Um, I mean, technically, I don't think so. I mean, she's at UConn, but she's already, I think, been done with her classes. I could be completely wrong.
Does she have another year of eligibility?
No.
Is she in the WNBA?
Paige?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
she
am
plays for
I?
UConn.
No. I mean, the only reason why I'm saying that is because maybe if she has one more year of eligibility at UConn, which I think she does, but if I'm wrong, so be it. If she's got another year of eligibility, she could possibly be, and this may be apples and oranges, but I hope you get the idea. Maybe she draws onto the Caitlin Clark stuff, the Caitlin Clark mystique and everything like that, and she can draw even more eyes into the league potentially. Who knows? I mean, but I mean, obviously they are different players, but Paige Beckers is probably one of these star players that would go to the WNBA next year. And if I'm wrong, so be it. You know what? I'm going to double check that here. Paige. Ah, let me just double check that here. Yeah, she is. I don't know if they update this. They have her as a junior on here,
Um, I
but
don't know how that changed with the COVID, but I'm pretty sure she's in her last year of eligibility.
yeah. So it just may be that ESPN just hasn't updated this where she would be listed as a senior, but she's also 22 years old because I think it's 22 you have to be eligible for the WNBA draft if you're not a graduate and haven't used your 4 years, I believe. And if I'm wrong, feel free to tell me.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's an interesting topic, honestly. I'm glad you're talking about
yeah,
it. It's we'll know more information.
yeah,
So I was able to attend a presser today. I have a little bit more information, but I can't like share it right now. So
yeah. No, I mean, if you can't share something, I'm not going to pry it out of you. And and I'm sure that some people that will be probably mentoring me when BBSN becomes a digital station in a couple of weeks, they'll probably say, "You should be prying. You should be prying." But I'm not going to get you into trouble for something like that. So, but but um, but do you want to hear my announcement I was going to make here?
sure.
Okay, so in a couple of weeks, uh, the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network is going to be live. I think it's going to be the first week of October. So, sometime in October, we are going live. And obviously, that we're going to be going 4 days a week. So, um, so when October comes around, um, I'm probably going to be doing the shows on the Bleacher Brothers Twitch. But I think with the way that EV Mux is set up, now, and I'm going to experiment on Saturday if I'm able to do this on Saturday. I'm going to see if I can stream to both Bleacher Brothers and to my channel. If I'm able to do both, because AJ swears up and down I can stream to both Twitches at the same time. If I can do that, we're going to be both on Bleacher Brothers and on here for my shows. And if not, if it doesn't work out, we are going to have an after party after every show. So we're still going to be here every night. It's just that it won't be as formal if we have the latter situation where it won't let me stream to both Twitches at the same time through EVMux. But if I can do it, we're going to be on both Twitches at the same time. And that will mean that you guys can come join me on either site. So, and I should be able to read everybody's from both Twitches. So, yeah. Uh, so the big news is we are going to be in a couple of weeks. You'll be able to download it on Apple or Android, and we're getting bigger and bigger. And there's a couple of things that I am not going to mention right now because the only person that knows about a couple of things that are coming up is Mike, because I know that he will tell his wife and it'd be like, who the hell else am I going to tell about this? But there's a couple of things I'm going to tell you off air as well. So, anything else we should look forward to? WNBA as they're winding down their season. I think the last regular season games are Sunday, I believe. SJ?
Yes, sir.
Oh, um, WNBA ends up closing the regular season on Sunday, I believe.
Yes, 19th. Well, starts the 19th and then, yeah.
Okay. And if you were to tell me or our fans here, our followers here, who's your pick to win it all this year?
Oh, I think the odds are best with New York right now, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I think New York has a pretty great chance. I mean, they clinched the 1 seed. I think the difference between this year and last year, they have a lot more depth.
Mm-hmm.
Where Vegas, we've seen them have depth issues and they haven't been as dominant. But I'll tell you right now, I think the Lynx and the Sun are absolute dark horse teams. I saw them play the other day and it was really a true playoff, feel. So I think there's like 3 or 4 teams that are in the mix. But if I had to put my coin on it, I threw a couple units on the Liberty, but I'm also going to throw a couple units on the Minnesota Lynx. So
And I put a couple of bucks on the Lynx when
yeah,
we
they're good.
consulted about this a week or two
Yeah,
ago. So, but
absolutely.
so um, so I guess that will be it for now, SJ. I do
Yeah, I
appreciate
appreciate
you
you having
hopping
me
on
on.
here. And
Yeah.
who knows, everybody? Maybe SJ will become a regular.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
always
she
always
will,
gonna come down.
and maybe she will escape the witness protection program. Yeah, I'm joking around, but
I
you know,
appreciate you, Joe. I hope you
no,
had a
but
great birthday.
it's. Thank you, and I do appreciate you coming on, and
Of course.
SJ may become a regular. She will be our basketball analyst, pro and
Listen, I'll
women,
be a
and
crochet analyst. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
well, don't tempt me. I could make it crochet. Can you crochet?
No.
Oh well, so we're not going to make you do that. So, SJ, just hang on. We'll close up shop here, and
Okay. Do I
I can
lead
tell
this?
you.
How does this work?
Just stay on because I'm going to keep you on there because I can tell you my news real quick.
Okay.
So I do want to thank everybody that joined me here tonight. Smoke with the Raid, Mike, Bank, NKP, Joel. If I'm missing you, I'm not doing it on purpose. Thank you so much, and thanks for the birthday wishes. Even if it was SJ's Discord or texts or calls or anything like that, I do appreciate everybody. I did want to have a fun night, and it turned into a very fun night. I do appreciate everybody taking the time to join me tonight because I know there is a ton of options, whether it's YouTube, X, Twitch, and we may be streaming other places on top of that as well. Do appreciate everybody, and we'll do it live again tomorrow night. We'll have a little football action there. I'm not going to make a pick for tomorrow night's game. Screw it. It's the Jets and the Patriots, and I'll make some college football picks, some pro picks, and we'll go from there. So, SJ, please hang on because I'll tell you some news afterwards. And thank you so much for joining me. We'll do it live again in
Thank you.
about 21 hours. Thank you so much, SJ. Sorry for the last minute confusion and doing everything, but do appreciate everybody. And also check out rebet.com as well, and we will work on that. I will work on that for you as well. So have a great night, everybody. We will catch you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock right here on X, YouTube, and Twitch. And check out Bleacher Brothers for all your sports needs and also all those promotions, whether they're gambling or even like Fanatics and those other ones. So have a great night, everybody. Catch you tomorrow.